Have you ever looked back on a certain moment in your life and realized that someone appeared too perfectly timed to be a coincidence? As if the universe had pushed them into your world at the exact second your soul was cracking open, before you even understood what was happening inside you? If you are an artist, an intuitive healer, or a lightworker in the making, this pattern may feel painfully familiar. Twin flames don't walk into your life during calm seasons. They don't arrive when your plans are neatly aligned, your heart is stable, and your vision is clear. They arrive at the edge, when everything feels unsettled, when life begins to shift in ways you can't explain, when your inner world starts whispering, something big is coming. And maybe you don't feel ready. Maybe you feel the most overwhelmed, the most uncertain, the most vulnerable you've been in years. Yet that is precisely the moment the universe chooses. Twin flames appear when your soul is on the verge of a creative, spiritual, or emotional metamorphosis, a transformation you cannot trigger on your own. And whether you realize it or not, their presence becomes the ignition key to everything you are about to become. This is the mission behind their timing. This is the deeper meaning behind their arrival. This is why you meet them right before your life begins to change. The vibration you didn't know you were sending out. Before a twin flame encounter, something quietly shifts inside you, like a dormant seed stirring beneath the soil before the first crack of dawn. You may feel restless, or strangely hopeful, or suddenly dissatisfied with everything that used to comfort you. Artists describe this as an inner itch, a creative pressure that builds under the skin. Healers feel it as a whisper pulling them towards something they can't yet name. Lightworkers sense it as a subtle lift in their frequency, as though their soul is waking up from a long dream. Even if you don't consciously ask for transformation, your energy field does. This signal, this broadcast of readiness, is what calls your twin flame forward. They are drawn not by words, not by logic, not by chance, but by resonance. A resonance that only becomes audible when your soul is preparing to evolve. This is why twin flames tend to meet just before a major shift in identity or purpose. The meeting isn't meant to be smooth or convenient. In fact, it's almost never gentle. But it is always intentional. The shock of recognition. When you first meet your twin flame, the sensation isn't ordinary attraction. It is impact, energetic, emotional, spiritual. A sudden acceleration. A feeling of being seen maybe for the first time. A sense that your life is splitting open and rearranging itself around this person. Most people describe one of two reactions. 1. Where have you been all my life? 2. Oh no, why now? And often, strangely, it's both. Your soul recognizes them even if your mind cannot explain it. Your energy remembers them even if your memory does not. To an artist, this resembles the moment a great idea bursts into consciousness. Overwhelming, disruptive, and breathtakingly clear. To a healer, it feels like a sudden spotlight illuminating wounds they didn't even know they were carrying. To a lightworker, it is the unmistakable vibration of destiny touching them for the first time. This recognition is not a coincidence. It is a call to awakening. Twin flames appear before your transition because their energy opens doors you didn't know existed. And once opened, those doors cannot be closed again. Why the universe doesn't wait until you're ready. People often assume spiritual breakthroughs happen in peaceful environments, during retreats, meditation sessions, or periods of clarity. But real awakening rarely works that way. Transformation often begins in chaos. Growth begins with disruption. Creativity begins with rupture. Healing begins with collapse. This is why the universe sends your twin flame into your world when your foundation is trembling. It's not because you're failing, but because your old identity is dissolving. You meet your twin flame at the exact moment. You're tired of shrinking yourself. You're suffocated by old versions of you. Your soul is demanding expansion. Your purpose is beginning to glow beneath the rubble. If they came earlier, you wouldn't have been receptive. If they came later, you wouldn't have needed the push. The universe chooses the moment your heart is most breakable, because that is when the light can enter. The disruption that feels like destiny. People romanticize twin flames, imagining cinematic love stories and instant harmony. But the truth is far more sacred. Twin flames aren't sent to comfort you. They're sent to activate you. They enter your life like unexpected storms, beautiful, uncontrollable, and impossible to ignore. Their purpose is not to blend seamlessly into your existing world, but to shake you out of it. They disturb your routine. They disrupt your emotional patterns. They awaken desires, fears, memories, and talents you've buried for years. They reflect the version of you that you've been too afraid to step into. This is why the timing of their arrival is so shocking. They appear when you feel the least prepared, because transformation is not born from preparedness. Transformation is born from pressure. Twin flames bring that pressure. Intensity, acceleration, confrontation, illumination. It's not chaos, it's higher design. The energetic contract behind the encounter. Every twin flame connection is anchored by an unspoken spiritual agreement. I will help you become who you are meant to be. This isn't a promise of romance. It's a promise of awakening. Your twin flame soul recognizes your potential long before you do. They see the artist you haven't dared to become yet. They sense the healer hiding beneath your heartbreak. They feel the lightworker in you that is waiting to rise. Their presence activates you in a way no one else ever could. Not because they're perfect, not because they're meant to stay forever, but because your souls agreed before this lifetime to push each other into evolution. This is the sacred mission behind every twin flame encounter. To awaken your gifts, to trigger your expansion, to catalyze your transformation, to prepare you for the path you were born to walk. They come before the transition because they are the transition. And so it begins. When a twin flame enters your life, you are never the same again. Your creativity begins to stir. Your intuition sharpens. Your shadows rise to the surface. Your energy accelerates. Your purpose starts whispering louder. Your heart breaks open in the best and worst ways. You may not understand it at first. You may even want to resist it. But somewhere deep in your soul, you know. This meeting is a turning point. This person is a catalyst. This moment is the beginning of everything. Your transformation starts here. And your journey is only just beginning. Before a twin flame appears, a subtle but profound shift begins inside you. Most people don't even recognize this shift at first. It doesn't announce itself grandly. It doesn't crash through your life like thunder. Instead, it hums quietly, steadily, insistently just beneath the consciousness. It is the vibration of a soul preparing to rise. You may think you're simply tired, or restless, or creatively blocked, or emotionally overwhelmed, or dissatisfied with the life you've been living. But the truth is far deeper, far more mysterious. Your energy begins calling for what will awaken you. That call is what summons your twin flame. The inner cracks before the light. People often misunderstand spiritual evolution. They imagine awakening as bliss, serenity, and instant clarity. But in reality, awakening rarely begins with light. It begins with cracks. Microfractures in your identity. Doubts that weren't there before. A sense that the life you've built suddenly doesn't fit anymore. Emotions you thought you had healed bubbling back to the surface. Dreams you haven't pursued tugging at you again. It's like the soul starts pushing against the walls you've built around it. And because artists, healers, and lightworkers are more sensitive to energy, they feel these cracks intensely. The signs show up as sudden bursts of inspiration followed by exhaustion, questioning everything you thought you wanted, feeling out of place in your own life, sensing something is missing but not knowing what, an unexplainable longing for something you cannot name. This is not depression. This is not confusion. This is activation. It's the soul preparing for a frequency jump. And once your vibration begins rising, even slightly, it sends a ripple through the universe. Your twin flame feels this ripple. Even if they are miles away, even if you've never met, even if they aren't spiritually aware yet, on a soul level they receive the signal. It's time. The silent broadcast of your soul. Every soul emits a frequency. One shaped by your emotions, your wounds, your potential, your desires, and your karmic path. But this frequency changes drastically when your soul is ready to evolve. It becomes clearer, louder, more coherent, more magnetic. You don't have to meditate to send it. You don't need rituals or practices. You don't even need to be aware of it consciously. It happens naturally, the way a seed sprouts when the season changes. Your energy field expands. Your emotional body begins cleansing itself. Your intuition becomes more active. Your subconscious starts surfacing old memories, old patterns, old dreams. You may find yourself waking up at unusual hours, feeling waves of emotion that don't make sense, becoming hyper-aware of synchronicities, craving solitude, feeling drawn to spirituality, astrology, or inner work.
Avin vivid dreamor déjà vu.
This is your soul broadcasting a new message into the ether. I am ready to remember who I am. That broadcast reaches one person more strongly than anyone else. The person whose energy blueprint matches yours. Your twin flame. Why creative souls feel it first. Artists, healers, and intuitives are often the first to detect these energetic shifts. Why? Because your emotional and energetic antennas are already open. You're wired to feel deeply. You're wired to sense what others overlook. You're wired to absorb subtleties, frequencies, shadows, and beauty. So when your soul begins its broadcast, you feel it as creative itch, a restless hunger, an emotional awakening, a spiritual calling, a shift in consciousness. Writers suddenly crave to express truths they've never spoken. Painters feel impulses they can't explain. Healers feel a surge in empathy or sensitivity. Lightworkers feel an urge to realign their lives. The transformation begins internally, long before you see any external change. And then, without warning, the universe sends the catalyst. The universe's precision timing. The universe does not operate through coincidence. It operates through resonance. When your energy reaches a certain frequency, even if you don't realize it, your twin flame is pulled into your orbit. Not a moment too early. Not a moment too late. But exactly when your soul has reached a point where the presence of your twin flame will break open the next layer of your purpose. Expose the shadows you need to heal. Activate your dormant gifts. Awaken your creative fire. Reshape your emotional landscape. Accelerate your spiritual evolution. Notice something important. The universe doesn't wait for comfort. It waits for alignment. Comfort is never the goal. Awakening is. This is why the twin flame arrives during emotional turbulence, life transitions, and inner conflict. The pressure creates the pathway. The soul's alarm clock. Many people describe the months or weeks before meeting their twin flame as a period of heightened intuition, unexpected endings, sudden life shifts, craving authenticity, emotional volatility, feeling something big is coming. This is your soul's alarm clock ringing. It doesn't ring gently. It rings loudly enough to unsettle everything familiar, to make room for the transformation you are about to undergo. The old identity begins dissolving. The old patterns begin destabilizing. The old dreams feel too small. The old relationships feel unaligned. The old versions of you begin slipping away. You may try to resist it. You may feel overwhelmed. You may want to cling to the familiar. But the soul wants expansion, not comfort. Twin flames come to accelerate that expansion. They are the catalytic force behind the awakening you've been unconsciously preparing for. Energetic sensitivity and the pre-meeting symptoms. Something extraordinary happens before two twin flames cross paths in the physical world. Your energetic bodies make contact first. This is why people often experience 1. Sudden emotional surges. Tears for no reason. Joy for no reason. A sense of nostalgia without knowing why. 2. Physical sensations. A tug in the chest. A burning in the solar plexus. Warmth in the heart space. 3. Synchronicities increasing sharply. Repeating numbers. Songs with meaningful lyrics. Dreams of a stranger. Symbols appearing everywhere. 4. Heightened creativity. The urge to write, draw, sing, dance, heal, or express emotions in new ways. 5. A sense of waiting. Not for something, but for someone. These symptoms are not random. They are signs of energetic preparation. The meeting is imminent. The soul aligns before the body arrives. Before you meet your twin flame physically, your higher selves have already agreed on the encounter. They synchronize your emotional readiness, their spiritual readiness, your life circumstances, their karmic timeline, your soul contracts, their evolutionary stage. Everything converges piece by piece until the conditions are perfect. From the outside, it may look chaotic. Breakups, breakdowns, breakthroughs, life changes. But underneath the chaos is divine order. The soul prepares the stage long before the characters meet. The magnetic pull of the unseen. One of the most mysterious aspects of this pre-meeting phase is the magnetism that begins building. You feel drawn to new places, unusual hobbies, different people, certain books or music, spiritual environments. You may take a spontaneous trip, join a random workshop, or change your routine. Without realizing, these actions are bringing you closer to your twin flame. It feels like your soul is guiding you through invisible currents. Because it is. Your destiny begins whispering in your ear, nudging you toward alignment. Your intuition becomes a map. Your emotions become signposts. Your energy becomes the compass. And all roads lead to the encounter that will alter your life. The moment before the meeting. Right before twin flames collide, there is usually a sense of internal tension. You feel stretched between who you are and who you're becoming. Between the life you've lived and the life you're meant to live. Between the person you've been and the soul you're awakening into. This tension creates the opening. And through this opening, your twin flame enters. Not as an accident. Not as a coincidence. But as an answer. Your soul calls. Their soul responds. Your energies align. The meeting becomes inevitable. Twin flames meet when the universe decides the time is ripe. Not for romance, but for transformation. And with their arrival, the real awakening begins. When your twin flame enters your life, one of the most profound experiences is the mirror effect. This is not a metaphor. It is a literal energetic phenomenon. Your twin flame acts like a mirror for your soul, reflecting back everything you are. Your light, your shadows, your untapped potential, your fears and your dreams. And this reflection is not always comfortable. In fact, it is often shocking, disorienting, and transformative. The unsettling truth of reflection. Before meeting your twin flame, you may have spent years avoiding certain truths about yourself. Perhaps you distracted yourself with work, art, or routines. Perhaps you surrounded yourself with people who didn't challenge you. Perhaps you numbed your pain with familiar comforts. Twin flames have a way of breaking through these defenses. They don't just reflect your light, they reflect your shadow. The qualities in yourself that you've ignored, denied, or suppressed suddenly become undeniable. Your insecurities, fears, and unresolved wounds are placed directly in front of you, sometimes through the things they say, sometimes through the way they act, and sometimes through the intense emotional resonance they create just by being. It is as if they are holding up a mirror and saying, "This is you. This is everything you are, every layer, every part that you hide, even from yourself." And in that reflection, you see not only your limitations but also your greatest potential. Why it feels so intense? The mirror effect is powerful because twin flames share the same soul essence. On a subconscious level, they know exactly how to reach you. They understand your fears and your strengths, your triggers and your joys. This is why a single comment or gesture can provoke an extreme emotional reaction, even if rationally you know it shouldn't. Suddenly, something small like a tone of voice, a gesture, or a choice feels magnified, almost spiritually significant. This is the universe's way of saying, "Pay attention. This is a message. This is a lesson. This is activation." Artists, healers, and lightworkers feel this intensity acutely because their emotional sensitivity amplifies the mirror effect. Their creativity, empathy, and intuition are awakened and accelerated by the raw energy the twin flame brings. The shadows that push you forward. While it can be painful to witness your own flaws reflected in another person, this process is necessary for evolution. Think of it like a sculptor working with a block of marble. The twin flame is the chisel. They chip away the unnecessary material, the fears, the insecurities, the self-doubt, so that the true form of your soul can emerge. This mirror doesn't only reflect the negative, it also reflects the gifts you haven't fully acknowledged. Your hidden creativity, your untapped healing abilities, your spiritual wisdom waiting to surface, your courage, resilience, and passion. By holding up this reflection, twin flames challenge you to step into your fullest expression. The duality of attraction and triggering. One of the most confusing aspects of the mirror effect is that the twin flame can trigger you and attract you simultaneously. You might feel inexplicably drawn to them, magnetically pulled as if fate itself is tugging at your soul. At the same time, they may push all your buttons. They may provoke fear, anger, or insecurity. They may bring up past wounds you thought were healed. They may challenge your beliefs, your routines, and even your identity. This duality, love and discomfort, attraction and challenge, is what forces rapid evolution. Without the attraction, you would not feel compelled to engage. Without the triggers, you would not be pushed to grow. The interplay of these two forces creates the alchemical transformation twin flame encounters are famous for. Seeing yourself clearly through their eyes. The mirror effect allows you to see yourself as you truly are. When you experience their reflection, you might notice patterns repeating. Emotional responses you didn't understand. Relationship habits that keep recurring. Fears that hold you back. Dreams that you've abandoned. By noticing these patterns, you gain an opportunity for conscious change. But there is a subtle spiritual nuance. You are not changing for them. You are changing because your soul recognizes itself in them. Your twin flame is not the teacher. They are the reflective catalyst. You are the student and the artist of your own transformation. The acceleration of growth. One of the most remarkable aspects of the mirror effect is its speed. In ordinary relationships, growth is often slow. Patterns repeat for years until a major life event forces change. With a twin flame, the mirror accelerates evolution. Emotions surface faster. Lessons appear sooner. Shadows are exposed immediately. Creativity and inspiration surge. Intuition becomes sharper. This is why artists often produce their most profound work, healers experience breakthroughs in their methods, and lightworkers step into higher service soon after a twin flame encounter. Your soul has been waiting for this mirror to show you how brightly you can shine, and sometimes, it takes the reflection of another equally powerful soul to illuminate your path. The challenge of acceptance. While the mirror effect is transformative, it is not easy. Many people resist seeing themselves in someone else. Many feel attacked, misunderstood, or overwhelmed. Many try to flee from the intensity rather than leaning into the growth. But resistance only prolongs the lessons. The mirror will continue to show the reflection, through circumstances, emotions, or repeated patterns, until you choose to see it consciously. Acceptance is key. Accept the reflection of your shadow without judgment. Accept the reflection of your light with gratitude. Accept the discomfort as part of your evolution. Only then can you step fully into the potential your twin flame has awakened. The gift of the mirror. The mirror effect is not a curse. It is a gift. Through this reflection you gain 1. Clarity, understanding yourself more deeply than ever before. 2. Activation, awakening dormant talents and creativity. 3. Healing, confronting wounds that were hidden in the shadows. 4. Empowerment, stepping into your purpose with courage. 5. Connection, recognizing the deep energetic link between your soul and another. It is the spark that ignites the next stage of your spiritual and creative evolution. Preparing for the next stage. Once you've experienced the mirror effect, there is no turning back. You can no longer ignore the call of your own soul. You can no longer hide from your gifts. You can no longer remain in patterns that no longer serve you. Your twin flame has activated the threshold of transformation. The next chapters of your life will demand courage, vulnerability, and authenticity. The next stages will test your willingness to step into your power. The next lessons will teach you the sacred art of balancing intensity with wisdom, love with discernment, and reflection with action. And all of this begins with seeing yourself clearly through their eyes. The mirror effect is the twin flame's greatest gift, and their greatest challenge. By reflecting both your light and your shadow, they accelerate your growth, awaken your talents, and prepare your soul for the creative, healing, and spiritual mission you were born to fulfill. The question now is simple yet profound. Will you look into the mirror they hold up? Will you face yourself fully, embrace the reflection, and step into the transformation waiting for you? Your awakening begins here. If the last chapter, how your twin flame acts as a mirror, then in this chapter dives into the emotional intensity that follows, the triggering of your deepest wounds, the confrontation with your shadow, and the alchemical process that transforms pain into growth, creativity, and spiritual power. Meeting a twin flame is not just an awakening. It is an activation of your inner fire. And fire, as we know, both illuminates and burns. The nature of emotional triggering. One of the most mystifying aspects of a twin flame connection is the strong emotional reactions that appear out of nowhere. You might feel irritation over small gestures, anxiety or insecurity when they are distant, joy and euphoria when they notice you, sudden sadness or longing without reason. Even if, on a rational level, you shouldn't feel this way, the intensity is undeniable. This is emotional triggering, and it is a central part of the twin flame journey. The purpose of these triggers is not to punish you, frustrate you, or confuse you. It is to activate awareness. Every emotional flare-up points to a shadow aspect of yourself, the fears, insecurities, or unhealed wounds that you carry unconsciously. Your twin flame doesn't create these wounds. They merely touch the raw spots you've been avoiding. Why twin flames trigger so intensely? Twin flames share the same soul frequency, which makes the energetic resonance between you extraordinarily strong. This connection magnifies your deepest fears, your unprocessed emotions, your hidden desires, your unresolved past trauma. Think of it as a magnifying glass over your soul. Small cracks become glaringly obvious. Subtle patterns of avoidance are exposed in vivid detail. This intensity often feels unbearable, but it is a necessary part of your evolution. Without being triggered, many souls would remain in comfort zones, avoiding growth and repeating old cycles. The twin flame relationship is not about ease. It is about transformation. The shadow work that follows. Emotional triggering naturally leads to shadow work. Shadow work is the conscious effort to observe, understand, and integrate the hidden parts of yourself. Your shadow may include fear of rejection or abandonment, doubts about your worthiness, past traumas that never fully healed, patterns of self-sabotage, suppressed desires or creative impulses. When your twin flame triggers these shadows, it is not to hurt you. It is to bring them to the surface, making it possible for you to heal. Ignoring the shadow only prolongs suffering. Facing it courageously is what begins the true alchemy of transformation. The alchemy of triggered growth. The alchemy begins when you stop resisting your emotions. Instead of pushing away anger, jealousy, or fear, you observe them. Instead of blaming your twin flame for your pain, you explore the roots within yourself. Instead of avoiding discomfort, you lean into it with curiosity. This process converts emotional intensity into wisdom, creativity, and spiritual insight. Artists often report that their most profound work emerges from the emotional upheaval of a twin flame connection. Healers discover new techniques or insights that deepen their abilities. Lightworkers experience heightened intuition and expanded energetic awareness. Pain becomes the fuel for expression, insight, and service. Triggers as catalysts for creativity. Artists, writers, and creators are especially attuned to emotional resonance. The twin flames triggers can unleash torrents of creativity. Consider. A single argument might inspire a song, painting, or poem. A moment of longing can spark a breakthrough idea. A wave of grief or anger can be transformed into a masterpiece of expression. The triggers are like keys to hidden doors within your soul. Each emotional flare opens a chamber of latent talent, unprocessed memory, or unexplored intuition. Your twin flame may inadvertently become your muse, not just emotionally, but spiritually, by stimulating the very aspects of yourself that are waiting to be expressed. The mirror intensifies emotional awareness. Because the twin flame acts as a mirror, emotional triggering often reveals patterns in real time. For example, if you fear abandonment, moments of perceived distance from your twin flame reveal exactly how this fear influences your behavior. If you struggle with self-worth, criticism or silence can bring the core belief into awareness. If you resist vulnerability, emotional intensity exposes exactly where you are hiding from authentic connection. By reflecting these patterns back to you, your twin flame provides the perfect laboratory for growth. And the more aware you become of these patterns, the more power you gain over your emotional responses and creative expression. The spiritual perspective on triggering. From a spiritual standpoint, emotional triggering is divine choreography. The universe orchestrates these experiences to accelerate your evolution. Consider this. The intensity forces you to confront truths you might otherwise ignore. The reflection catalyzes healing and integration. The emotional turbulence strengthens resilience, intuition, and spiritual insight. The push and pull deepen your capacity to love, both yourself and others. What initially feels like chaos is actually soul-level design. Your twin flame is not the source of disturbance. They are the activation agent that awakens your latent power, integrating the shadow into strength. True transformation happens when you integrate your shadow into your conscious self. Integration means recognizing the patterns without shame, understanding the origins of your fears and wounds, accepting these aspects as parts of your whole, using the insights to make empowered choices. As your shadow integrates, your twin flame connection transforms. The intensity that once triggered pain now becomes a co-creative force. Emotions once feared become tools for healing, creativity, and insight. Patterns once repeated unconsciously become guides for conscious growth. The emotional alchemy is complete when the raw energy of triggers becomes fuel for transformation. Triggers as pathways to higher consciousness. The process of being triggered and doing shadow work is not merely personal, it is spiritual. It awakens higher self-awareness, soul purpose recognition, energetic sensitivity, intuition and psychic ability, compassion and empathy. Twin flames are catalysts for ascending consciousness. They challenge you not to suffer forever, but to evolve beyond the limitations of your past. Pain becomes wisdom, intensity becomes clarity, and emotional chaos becomes energetic alignment. The gift hidden in the pain. Once you understand the purpose behind emotional triggering, the gift becomes clear. Your twin flame connection is a mirror of growth. Every intense emotion is a signpost pointing toward healing. Every trigger is a doorway to creativity, empowerment, and spiritual awakening. Every emotional encounter is preparing you to step fully into your gifts. The deeper you lean into the experience, the faster and more profound your transformation becomes. Emotional triggering, when navigated consciously, is the gateway to your highest potential. Moving forward consciously. The key to mastering the twin flame journey is conscious engagement. 1. Observe triggers without judgment. 2. Reflect on what they reveal about your inner world. 3. Use the energy as fuel for creative or spiritual work. 4. Communicate authentically without projection. 5. Embrace the discomfort as a tool for transformation. With conscious awareness, what once caused pain becomes a powerful ally. Your twin flame is not your adversary. They are your co-catalyst. And every emotional eruption is part of a greater blueprint for awakening. Emotional triggering and shadow work are the heart of the twin flame journey. They are uncomfortable, intense, and sometimes overwhelming, but they are also miraculous. Through these experiences, you uncover hidden strengths, awaken creativity, activate intuition, and step closer to your soul's purpose. The mirror effect and the triggers are inseparable. One shows you who you are, the other pushes you to evolve into who you are meant to become. The path is not easy, but it is the only path to true transformation. And when you navigate it consciously, your twin flame relationship becomes not just a connection, but a sacred alchemy of growth, healing, and awakening. If the last chapter explored emotional triggering and shadow work, then in this chapter focuses on the activation of your innate gifts, the surge of creativity, healing abilities, and intuitive insights that often occurs after meeting your twin flame. This chapter reveals why twin flames often appear in the lives of artists, healers, and lightworkers precisely at the moment their soul is ready to step into its highest expression. The spark that ignites hidden talents. Before a twin flame encounter, your gifts often lie dormant, hidden beneath the routines, fears, or wounds you carry. You may have glimpsed your potential, felt sparks of creativity, or sensed your healing abilities, but they remain untapped. Then the twin flame appears. Their presence acts like a catalyst. Suddenly, creative ideas flow unbidden. Insights come as flashes of clarity. You feel compelled to create, to heal, to express, often in ways you had never imagined. It is not accidental. The universe designs this encounter to activate your latent gifts, pushing you to rise into your purpose. Why emotional intensity fuels creativity. The emotional turbulence of a twin flame relationship is not merely a challenge. It is energy in motion. Artists often describe their work after a twin flame encounter as more inspired, raw, and authentic. They create from a deeper place, drawing from emotions and insights unearthed by the mirror effect and triggers. Healers and lightworkers experience similar surges. Empathy becomes sharper. Intuition becomes more reliable. Energy flows more fluidly through their hands, voice, or presence. Emotional intensity acts as fuel. It transforms ordinary experience into extraordinary output. Pain becomes poetry. Longing becomes melody. Conflict becomes insight. This is the alchemy of twin flame activation. The fusion of shadow, emotion, and soul potential into tangible gifts. The role of resonance in activation. Activation is not random. It happens because your twin flame resonates with the same energetic frequency as your highest self. This resonance does several things. 1. Amplifies your natural abilities. The energy you emit is matched and reflected, magnifying your gifts. 2. Illuminates hidden potential. Skills or talents you undervalued or suppressed become undeniable. 3. Aligns you with your purpose. Insights and inspirations arise precisely at the moment your gifts are needed. Because twin flames share this deep soul resonance, their mere presence triggers creative and healing breakthroughs that would otherwise take years of solitary work. The creative surge case examples. Imagine a painter who has always expressed beauty in subtle, restrained ways. After meeting their twin flame, they suddenly feel compelled to explore raw, emotionally charged colors, textures, and forms. The artwork becomes a direct translation of their inner awakening. Or consider a healer who, after their twin flame encounter, begins intuitively guiding others with more precision and clarity. They feel themselves aligned with an invisible current of wisdom, their energy flowing effortlessly. Writers, musicians, dancers, and spiritual guides often report similar experiences. The encounter unlocks latent creativity, awakens bold self-expression, and deepens connection to their inner guidance. Healing as a natural extension of activation. Activation is not limited to creativity. It extends to healing abilities as well. The emotional intensity of a twin flame relationship exposes unresolved wounds, both yours and theirs. When you face these wounds consciously, your capacity to heal expands. Healing may manifest in several ways. Energetic healing. Your intuition and ability to sense energy patterns strengthen. Emotional healing. Your empathy deepens, allowing you to guide others through pain. Spiritual healing. Your connection to higher guidance, divine insight, or universal wisdom becomes more accessible. By working through your own triggers, you gain the tools and confidence to facilitate transformation in others, often at levels you never thought possible. Intuition and psychic activation. Another key aspect of twin flame activation is the enhancement of intuitive and psychic abilities. After meeting your twin flame, many report vivid dreams and visions, heightened sensitivity to energy, a deep knowing without explanation, synchronicities that guide decision-making. These intuitive surges are the universe's way of preparing you for your expanded role. Artists may find inspiration in dream symbolism. Healers may sense the root of pain in others before words are spoken. Lightworkers may experience direct guidance for spiritual missions. This intuitive activation is a natural outcome of energetic alignment with your twin flame, merging emotional intensity with soul resonance. The intersection of shadow work and creative activation. It is crucial to recognize that the activation of your gifts often emerges directly from shadow work. Your twin flame's mirror effect and emotional triggering bring hidden wounds and suppressed talents into awareness. As you navigate this shadow, you release blocks that inhibited creativity, transform pain into expression, integrate wisdom that amplifies your intuition, open channels for deeper healing abilities. The process is not always comfortable, but it is profoundly transformative. Every challenge, every trigger, and every moment of reflection contributes to your evolution into a fully activated, creative, and healing being. The role of courage in activation. Activation requires courage. The intensity of a twin flame connection often stirs fear. Fear of vulnerability, fear of failure, fear of self-discovery, or fear of stepping into your gifts fully. Yet courage is the bridge between latent potential and active expression. Courage allows the artist to create without censorship. Courage allows the healer to guide without doubt. Courage allows the lightworker to serve without hesitation. Your twin flame catalyzes this courage by holding up a reflection that cannot be ignored, creating a sacred pressure that demands authenticity. Activation as soul alignment. Ultimately, the creative and healing activation is a process of soul alignment. Through the twin flame connection, you are awakening your innate talents, releasing emotional and energetic blocks, integrating shadow aspects, deepening intuition, expanding spiritual awareness, aligning with your purpose. This alignment is not optional. It is your soul's directive. Your twin flame is the messenger, the mirror, and the catalyst that brings the soul's plan into focus. Signs that activation is occurring. There are common signs that your creative and healing abilities are being awakened. 1. A surge in inspiration or productivity. You feel compelled to act on ideas immediately. 2. Heightened emotional sensitivity. Emotions guide you toward creative or healing expression. 3. Intuitive breakthroughs. You receive guidance or insights with clarity and authority. 4. Synchronicities and meaningful coincidences. The universe seems to be supporting your actions. 5. A sense of inevitability. You feel called to step into a path that aligns with your soul's purpose. Recognizing these signs helps you trust the process and navigate your twin flame journey consciously. The gift of activation. The creative and healing activation initiated by your twin flame is not a fleeting experience. It is a permanent elevation of your soul's expression. Your talents, gifts, and intuitive abilities, once dormant or latent, are now activated and magnified. The challenges, triggers, and emotional intensity are integral parts of the process, transforming discomfort into empowerment. Artists, healers, and lightworkers often describe this activation as a profound shift, from living in potential to living in purpose. Your twin flame does not merely ignite the spark, they fan the flame. And the fire they ignite illuminates your path toward authentic self-expression, healing, and spiritual mastery. You've experienced the activation of your creativity, healing abilities, and intuition, the gifts awakened by your twin flame. In this chapter, we explore the push and pull dynamic, one of the most intense and mystifying aspects of twin flame connections. This dance of union and separation is not a sign of failure or incompatibility. It is the mechanism through which your soul continues to evolve, expand, and refine its gifts. Understanding the push and pull. The twin flame journey is rarely linear. Unlike conventional relationships, it is a deeply spiritual, energetic, and emotional connection. One of the most recognizable patterns is the push and pull, also called the runner-chaser dynamic. The push. One twin may retreat, emotionally withdraw, or create distance. The pull. The other twin often feels drawn closer, seeking connection and reconciliation. This dynamic repeats, sometimes in cycles that seem unpredictable and chaotic. At first glance, it may feel confusing, frustrating, or even painful. But the truth is that the push and pull is a reflection of the soul's readiness, healing, and alignment. Why the push happens. The push is rarely about rejection or lack of love. It often emerges from inner fears, unresolved patterns, or the intensity of the connection itself. Consider these common reasons. 1. Fear of vulnerability. Your twin flame mirrors your deepest truths. Facing such intimacy can trigger fear, prompting them to retreat. 2. Shadow resistance. The mirror effect reveals shadow aspects that are uncomfortable to confront. Retreat allows time to process these shadows. 3. Activation overload. The energy of twin flame activation, creativity, healing, and intuitive expansion can feel overwhelming. A temporary separation helps integrate this new frequency. 4. Timing and divine design. Sometimes the universe orchestrates distance to allow both souls to develop independently, ensuring alignment for future union. Why the pull happens. The pull is the natural response of the twin whose soul is drawn to reunion. It may manifest as intense longing, emotional yearning, or even physical restlessness. It is the soul recognizing its counterpart and feeling incomplete without connection. The pull often brings clarity. The soul senses the importance of the relationship in fulfilling its mission, creative expression, or healing path. The pull is not a sign of dependency. It is an energetic reminder of your shared purpose and resonance. The lessons hidden in separation. While separation may feel painful, it is highly transformative. During these periods, both twins are encouraged to 1. Engage in deep self-work. Use the time apart to process triggers, integrate shadow aspects, and heal past wounds. 2. Strengthen individual gifts. Creativity, healing abilities, and intuition flourish when practiced independently. 3. Reflect on emotional patterns. Separation illuminates behavioral tendencies, attachments, and areas requiring growth. 4. Cultivate spiritual awareness. Solitude allows for meditation, reflection, and alignment with the soul's purpose without external distraction. Ultimately, separation is a sacred preparation for deeper union. Spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. The dance as a spiritual practice. The push and pull is more than an emotional experience. It is a spiritual discipline. Each cycle teaches detachment without loss. Each distance teaches trust and divine timing. Each longing teaches patience and self-compassion. Each reunion teaches presence and conscious love. In essence, the twin flame journey is training the soul to love fully without clinging, create without fear, and heal without judgment. How creativity thrives in the push and pull. Interestingly, the cycles of separation and reunion often amplify creative energy. During separation, emotional intensity and longing become fuel for artistic expression. During union, inspiration flows effortlessly, guided by intuitive alignment and shared energy. The interplay between absence and presence sharpens the ability to channel emotions into tangible forms: art, music, writing, healing work, or spiritual service. Artists and lightworkers often describe these cycles as catalysts for their most profound work, creating pieces or breakthroughs they could not have accessed in a linear, comfortable relationship. Shadow work intensified by the dance. The push and pull magnifies unresolved patterns. It is like a pressure cooker for shadow work. Fear of abandonment may surface during separation. Jealousy or insecurity may appear during moments of perceived distance. Desire for control may emerge when reunion seems uncertain. However, each emotional flare provides opportunity for conscious choice. By observing these patterns, you move from unconscious reactivity to mastery of your emotions and energy. The role of conscious communication. While much of the push and pull is energetic, conscious communication is crucial for navigating the journey gracefully. Express feelings authentically without blame. Set healthy boundaries that honor your energy and purpose. Acknowledge triggers as opportunities for reflection, not conflict. Focus on personal growth rather than trying to control the other. Through conscious communication, the cycle becomes less painful and more constructive, allowing both twins to integrate lessons faster and maintain alignment with their soul purpose. Integration during union and separation. Integration is the key to making the push and pull productive. During union, celebrate connection, share energy, and channel inspiration into creative and healing projects. During separation, practice self-reflection, creativity, and spiritual alignment. Both phases are equally valuable. They form a rhythm, a sacred oscillation, that allows the soul to expand, grow, and refine its gifts. Trusting divine timing. One of the most challenging aspects of the twin flame journey is trusting the timing. Union may not happen immediately. Separation may feel indefinite. The cycles may repeat until both souls are ready. However, the universe is orchestrating every step. Each push, pull, reunion, and hiatus occurs to prepare you for higher consciousness, full creative expression, mastery of healing abilities, deep conscious union. Trust is essential. Resistance only prolongs cycles. Surrender and awareness transform the dance from chaos into soul-guided harmony. The dance as a gateway to soul expansion. The push and pull is more than a relationship pattern. It is a gateway to higher dimensional living. Emotional intensity awakens spiritual resilience. Longing and desire expand heart consciousness. Separation cultivates independence and self-mastery. Union deepens empathy, love, and co-creation. Through this dance, the twin flame connection becomes a training ground for advanced soul expression, preparing both individuals for creative, healing, and spiritual missions that serve not just themselves, but others. Embracing the dance. The push and pull of a twin flame relationship is not a problem to solve, but a sacred pattern to honor. It is a mirror of growth and shadow integration. It is a catalyst for creativity, healing, and intuitive awakening. It is a spiritual practice in love, patience, and self-mastery. By embracing the dance, you learn to 1. Love without attachment. 2. Create without fear. 3. Heal without judgment. 4. Trust divine timing. 5. Step fully into your gifts. This is the profound beauty of twin flames. They challenge you, awaken you, and guide you toward your highest self. And every push, every pull, every cycle of separation and reunion brings you closer to the union your soul has long awaited. A union that transcends mere physical presence and resonates in the deepest layers of creative and spiritual potential. You've navigated the push and pull, experiencing both the intensity of union and the transformative power of separation. In this chapter focuses on practical mastery, how to consciously harness the unique energy of your twin flame connection to amplify creativity, deepen healing abilities, and fully activate your soul gifts. Twin flame energy is not merely emotional. It is a potent spiritual force, capable of catalyzing breakthroughs in artistic expression, intuitive insight, and transformational work. Learning to consciously channel this energy allows you to step into your highest potential, rather than being swept along by reactive cycles. Understanding twin flame energy. Twin flame energy is fundamentally a mirror of your soul's vibration. When you meet your twin flame, your energetic frequency resonates with theirs. Your latent gifts, creativity, healing, and intuition are amplified. Emotional intensity becomes a tool for transformation. This energy is electric, magnetic, and catalytic. It can inspire a surge of creativity, illuminate hidden talents, or awaken dormant psychic abilities. But it must be harnessed consciously. Otherwise, it can manifest as turbulence, obsession, or emotional overwhelm. Step 1. Grounding and energy alignment. Before you can channel twin flame energy effectively, you must anchor yourself. Grounding aligns your body, mind, and spirit, preventing energy overwhelm. Techniques include breathwork, deep rhythmic breathing to anchor awareness in the present, nature immersion, walking barefoot on grass, sitting under a tree, or feeling earth energy. Visualization, imagining roots connecting your body to the earth while energy flows freely through you. Energy cleansing, using smudging, salt baths, or meditation to release stagnant or chaotic energy. Grounding ensures that the powerful currents of twin flame energy enhance rather than destabilize your creative and healing work. Step 2. Emotional transmutation into creativity. Emotions are the primary vehicle for twin flame energy. Intense feelings, longing, passion, fear, or grief can be converted into creative output. 1. Observe without attachment. Notice your emotions as a form of energy, not a judgment or story. 2. Channel through art. Paint, write, compose music, or create movement that embodies your emotional state. 3. Use intention. Set a conscious intention. I transform this energy into beauty, insight, and healing. By transmuting emotional intensity, you release emotional tension, access deeper layers of inspiration, amplify the authenticity and power of your creative work. Many artists report that their twin flame connection unlocks hidden dimensions of expression, enabling them to produce work that resonates deeply with others. Step 3. Activating healing abilities. Twin flame energy naturally enhances healing capacities, but conscious practice is key. Steps for activating healing energy include meditation on energy flow. Visualize energy moving from your heart, through your hands, and into the recipient or creative work. Intuitive attunement. Pay attention to sensations, feelings, or subtle cues that indicate areas in need of healing. Emotional purification. Process your own triggers and shadows to maintain clarity and integrity. Service mindset. Channel energy with intention to support, uplift, or transform. Healers often find that their intuition becomes sharper, their empathy deeper, and their energetic flow more coherent after consciously integrating twin flame energy. Step 4. Cultivating intuitive clarity. Twin flame connections often heighten psychic and intuitive awareness, making it possible to receive guidance from higher dimensions. Ways to cultivate this clarity: dream journaling, record dreams for symbolic insights, meditative reflection, sit in silence to receive impressions, visions, or subtle guidance, divination tools, use tarot, oracle cards, or pendulums as mirrors of inner wisdom, energy scanning, practice sensing energy in people, spaces, or objects. Intuition is the compass that directs twin flame energy toward purposeful creation and healing, ensuring that activation serves your highest path. Step 5. Harnessing twin flame energy for flow states. Flow states, the effortless, fully immersed moments of creativity, are naturally accessible through twin flame energy. Techniques to access flow include: 1. Energy alignment before practice. Ground, meditate, and set your intention. 2. Emotional immersion. Allow emotions to move through your body freely without resistance. 3. Embodied creativity. Use movement, breath, or voice to express energy directly. 4. Non-attachment to outcome. Focus on the process, not external validation. When twin flame energy is consciously channeled, the flow state can become sustained and highly productive, leading to profound breakthroughs in creative or healing work. Step 6. Integration and reflection. Energy activation is only complete when it is integrated into daily life and practice. Reflect on insights gained during emotional surges or creative breakthroughs. Document your process to recognize patterns and growth. Revisit challenges as opportunities to refine energy mastery. Celebrate manifestations of twin flame energy in both personal and professional life. Integration ensures that activation enhances long-term growth, rather than becoming fleeting bursts of intensity or reactive emotional cycles. Step 7. Co-creation with your twin flame. When both twins consciously harness their energy, the connection becomes a powerful co-creative force. Joint artistic projects can reach unprecedented depth. Collaborative healing or spiritual work can amplify impact. Shared intuition and insight can reveal previously hidden potentials. Co-creation requires mutual awareness and respect, open communication, alignment of intention and purpose, emotional maturity to navigate triggers constructively. The synergistic energy of conscious co-creation magnifies the soul mission of both individuals, accelerating growth, expression, and impact. The importance of boundaries. While harnessing twin flame energy is transformative, it is essential to maintain boundaries. Respect personal space and energetic integrity. Avoid over-reliance on your twin for validation or direction. Recognize when emotional intensity requires grounding or self-care. Boundaries allow you to channel energy without losing yourself, ensuring sustainable activation and growth. Twin flame energy and spiritual alignment. The conscious use of twin flame energy is ultimately a spiritual practice. It cultivates higher consciousness, expanding awareness beyond ego and fear. It deepens connection to universal intelligence, enhancing guidance and insight. It strengthens alignment with soul purpose, enabling meaningful contributions to the world. By mastering this energy, you step into your role as a creative, healer, or lightworker, empowered by the sacred resonance of your twin flame connection. Your gifts fully activated. The last chapter demonstrates that twin flame energy is a sacred resource, capable of amplifying creativity, healing, and spiritual insight when consciously harnessed. By grounding, transmuting emotions, activating healing capacities, cultivating intuition, entering flow states, integrating lessons, and co-creating consciously, you transform raw energetic intensity into mastery and purpose. Your twin flame is both mirror and catalyst, awakening the full spectrum of your potential. The energy they bring is a gift, a divine activation that, when embraced consciously, propels you into your highest creative and healing expression. The journey is not just about connection. It is about living as a fully activated soul, empowered by love, insight, and purpose. You've learned how to harness twin flame energy for peak creativity, healing, and spiritual activation. Chapter 8 focuses on sustaining this alignment, transforming the powerful, sometimes turbulent, energy of the twin flame connection into a consistent source of inspiration, clarity, and soul purpose in your everyday life. Without conscious practices, the intensity of twin flame energy can feel overwhelming or inconsistent. Sustaining alignment allows you to channel energy effectively, maintain creative flow, and deepen your spiritual and emotional resilience. Understanding alignment in daily life. Alignment is the state in which your thoughts, emotions, energy, and actions are in harmony with your soul purpose. In the context of a twin flame connection, alignment ensures that the energy you receive from the connection is constructive, supportive, and empowering. When aligned, twin flame energy enhances creativity, healing, and intuition, supports emotional balance and clarity, strengthens spiritual awareness and manifestation, improves decision-making and self-mastery. Misalignment, on the other hand, can lead to emotional overwhelm, dependency, creative blocks, or even physical fatigue. Sustaining alignment is therefore essential for turning passion into productive action. Practice 1. Daily grounding rituals. Grounding is the foundation for maintaining alignment. Without grounding, twin flame energy can feel chaotic or destabilizing. Daily grounding practices include morning meditation. Begin your day with deep breathing, visualization, or silent reflection. Connection with nature. Walk barefoot, touch trees, or sit near water to absorb natural energy. Body awareness. Stretching, yoga, or mindful movement to anchor energy in your physical body. Energy clearing. Smudging, salt baths, or intentional visualization to release stagnant energy. These practices anchor you, allowing twin flame energy to flow through you instead of overwhelming you. Practice 2. Emotional mastery and transmutation. Twin flame energy magnifies emotions. Sustaining alignment requires conscious emotional transmutation, the ability to transform raw feelings into constructive output. Steps include 1. Observe emotions without judgment. Notice feelings as energy rather than story or blame. 2. Journal your experiences. Writing clarifies insights and releases emotional intensity. 3. Channel into creative work. Paint, write, dance, or create music from emotional energy. 4. Set energetic intention. Affirm that your emotions will serve growth, healing, and expression. Emotional mastery allows you to access inspiration, rather than react to intensity, sustaining productive energy over time. Practice 3. Maintaining spiritual connection. Your twin flame connection amplifies spiritual energy, but conscious practices ensure it remains aligned with purpose. Effective practices include meditative attunement, daily meditation to connect with your higher self, energy scans, check your energetic field for blockages or imbalances, divine guidance, ask for insights from your higher self, guides, or universal intelligence, sacred rituals, lighting candles, creating altars, or performing intention-setting ceremonies. Regular spiritual alignment stabilizes twin flame energy, supporting creativity, healing, and clarity in daily life. Practice 4. Cultivating consistent creativity. Sustaining alignment requires consistent creative expression, even outside peak emotional moments. Set aside dedicated time. Treat creativity as sacred practice, not just inspiration-driven. Use structure with flexibility. Balance discipline with openness to intuition. Experiment with forms. Try different mediums, styles, or approaches to keep energy fresh. Reflect and refine. Review work regularly to track growth and patterns. Consistency converts fleeting bursts of inspiration into long-term mastery of your gifts. Practice 5. Healing integration. Twin flame energy heightens healing capacities, but long-term alignment requires integration of lessons and experiences. Reflect on triggers. Identify recurring patterns and shadow aspects. Process emotional residue. Use breathwork, movement, or therapy to release accumulated intensity. Support others consciously. Channel energy in service without losing self-boundaries. Celebrate growth. Acknowledge breakthroughs, creative outputs, and healing successes. Integrated healing ensures that energy is constructive and regenerative, rather than depleting or chaotic. Practice 6. Balancing connection and independence. One of the key challenges of a twin flame relationship is maintaining balance between union and individuality. Honor personal space. Respect your needs for solitude, reflection, and self-expression. Maintain individual practices. Grounding, meditation, creative work, and self-care remain priorities. Communicate boundaries. Express limits and needs without guilt. Celebrate self-growth. Recognize personal achievements, independent of the relationship. Balanced independence strengthens union by ensuring that both twins remain empowered and energetically aligned. Practice 7. Conscious use of energy in daily life. Twin flame energy can enhance all aspects of daily life when consciously applied. Decision-making. Align choices with soul purpose rather than ego or fear. Creative projects. Channel emotional and spiritual energy into tangible work. Relationships. Extend compassion, empathy, and understanding cultivated in the twin flame dynamic. Health and wellness. Use energy awareness to support physical vitality and mental clarity. By consciously directing energy, you maximize its potential and maintain sustainable alignment. Practice 8. Rituals for renewal and reconnection. Regular rituals help renew energy and deepen alignment. Monthly reflection. Review experiences, triggers, and growth patterns. Energy cleansing ceremonies. Release stagnant or heavy energy intentionally. Joint meditations or creative sessions. Align with your twin flame consciously if possible. Seasonal intention setting. Align creative and spiritual goals with natural cycles. These rituals prevent burnout, sustain flow, and allow you to reconnect with the energy of your twin flame on your own terms. Practice 9. Embracing flow and surrender. Sustaining alignment requires letting go of control. Trust the natural cycles of union, separation, and co-creation. Allow inspiration and insight to arise spontaneously. Surrender emotional turbulence to conscious transmutation. Recognize that alignment is a dynamic process, not a fixed state. Flow and surrender ensure that energy remains vibrant, dynamic, and spiritually aligned, rather than stagnant or forced. Practice 10. Ongoing self-mastery. Finally, long-term alignment requires dedication to self-mastery. Continuous learning. Study spiritual principles, energy work, and creative techniques. Shadow work. Address recurring emotional or behavioral patterns. Energetic hygiene. Regularly clear, protect, and raise your energy field. Service and contribution. Apply your gifts consciously to uplift others. Self-mastery transforms twin flame energy into a lifelong source of inspiration, healing, and purpose. Living in sustained alignment. Chapter 8 illustrates that the key to lasting twin flame energy and creative activation is conscious, consistent practice. By grounding, mastering emotions, nurturing spiritual connection, maintaining creativity, integrating healing, balancing independence, directing energy consciously, performing renewal rituals, embracing flow, and committing to self-mastery, you can transform twin flame energy into a sustainable source of inspiration, clarity, and soul fulfillment. The twin flame connection is not just a relationship. It is a dynamic, sacred conduit of energy that, when harnessed consciously, empowers you to live fully, create deeply, and heal profoundly. Your gifts, once awakened, become tools for higher purpose, and your daily practices ensure that these gifts are aligned, sustainable, and ever-expanding. Twin flame energy is a living, breathing force. By maintaining alignment, you step into your highest potential, embody your soul's purpose, and channel the divine spark of love, creativity, and healing into every moment of your life. The last chapter, you've learned how to sustain alignment, harnessing twin flame energy for creativity, healing, and spiritual activation. In this chapter, takes the journey further, focusing on manifesting conscious union and purposeful collaboration. Here, the emphasis is on transforming the powerful, often chaotic energy of the twin flame connection into co-creative partnerships, projects, and soul missions that amplify your shared gifts. Twin flame union is not just romantic or emotional. It is a convergence of purpose, energy, and spiritual mission. Manifesting union consciously allows both partners to align fully, co-create meaningfully, and contribute their amplified energy to the world. Understanding twin flame union. Twin flame union transcends the typical notion of romantic fulfillment. It is the energetic and spiritual alignment of two souls operating in resonance and purpose. This union is characterized by emotional maturity and stability, mutual respect and understanding, alignment of individual and shared soul missions, Co-creation that impacts others positively. Deep spiritual resonance beyond physical presence. Manifesting union requires both internal readiness and external alignment, combining personal mastery with conscious interaction. The prerequisite: self-mastery. Union cannot occur without self-mastery. Each twin must cultivate 1. Emotional intelligence, understanding and regulating emotions without overreacting. 2. Shadow integration, embracing and healing hidden aspects of the self. 3. Energetic awareness, recognizing personal energy patterns and maintaining balance. 4. Spiritual alignment, being connected to higher guidance and soul purpose. Without these foundations, attempts at union may result in repeated push and pull cycles, unhealed triggers, or misaligned co-creation. Visualizing union. Visualization is a powerful tool for manifesting twin flame alignment. Regularly envision harmonious interaction, both partners communicating with love, clarity, and respect. Joint purpose, creative, healing, or spiritual projects flowing effortlessly. Energetic resonance, feeling the energy of union as a shared field of light and inspiration. Mutual growth, both individuals thriving independently and collectively. Visualization primes the mind and energy field, aligning intention with universal orchestration, accelerating the materialization of conscious union. Step 1. Aligning intentions. To manifest purposeful union, clarity of intention is essential. Consider why you seek union. Is it for personal fulfillment, co-creation, spiritual mission, or all three? What you bring to the union. Acknowledge your gifts, growth, and contributions. Desired co-creative outcomes. Art, healing work, spiritual teachings, or collaborative service. Intentions should be clear, authentic, and free from attachment, allowing the universe to orchestrate union naturally. Step 2. Energy synchronization. Twin flame union is fundamentally energetic. Energy synchronization involves regular alignment practices, meditation, breathwork, and mutual reflection. Attunement rituals, joint visualizations, creative exercises, or spiritual practices. Shared frequency, cultivating harmony through love, compassion, and aligned purpose. Boundary awareness, respecting individuality while synchronizing energy. When both twins resonate in frequency, union is effortless and mutually empowering. Step 3. Conscious co-creation. Union manifests most tangibly through co-creative projects. These can include artistic collaborations, music, writing, visual art, or performance, healing initiatives, energy work, workshops, or spiritual guidance, spiritual teachings, workshops, online content, or mentorship programs, community service, social impact projects aligned with soul purpose. Effective co-creation requires clear communication of ideas and visions, flexibility to integrate both perspectives, emotional maturity to handle differences constructively, intention to serve higher purpose rather than ego gratification. Purposeful collaboration magnifies the impact of both twins, turning personal gifts into a shared force for good. Step 4. Balancing individual and shared growth. Even in union, maintaining individual growth is essential. Each twin brings unique skills, insights, and energy. Practices include dedicated time for personal projects, reflection, and self-care, continued shadow work and spiritual practices independently, mutual encouragement of growth and exploration, recognizing that union amplifies, not diminishes, individuality. Balance ensures that union remains healthy, sustainable, and aligned with soul purpose. Step 5. Navigating challenges in union. Even conscious twin flame unions encounter challenges. Residual triggers. Past wounds may surface, requiring compassion and awareness. Ego interference. Desire for control, validation, or attachment can disrupt flow. Energetic disharmony. Misalignment in frequency may temporarily block co-creation. External pressures. Family, career, or social expectations can challenge alignment. Approaches to navigate these include open, honest, and compassionate communication, emotional regulation and mindfulness practices, grounding and energetic realignment, revisiting shared intentions and co-creative goals. Challenges are not obstacles, they are opportunities for deeper alignment, growth, and soul integration. Step 6. Integration of lessons. Each cycle of union, co-creation, and challenge contains integral lessons. How to channel emotional intensity constructively. How to navigate energy alignment and misalignment. How to maintain boundaries while deepening connection. How to co-create purposefully without ego interference. Integration transforms twin flame union from a passionate emotional experience into a sustainable, high-vibration partnership. Step 7. Leveraging union for world impact. The highest expression of twin flame union is the amplification of soul purpose and service. Union becomes a conduit for healing others, emotional, spiritual, or energetic guidance, inspiring creativity, artistic expression that resonates widely, teaching and mentoring, sharing insights and practices from your journey, community upliftment, using combined gifts for positive social impact. The union transforms personal energy into a ripple effect that benefits countless others, fulfilling the soul's higher mission. Step 8. Maintaining alignment long-term. Sustaining union requires ongoing conscious effort, daily or weekly grounding, reflection, and energy alignment, regular communication about needs, intentions, and creative projects, continual shadow work and self-mastery, periodic rituals or ceremonies to renew commitment to alignment and purpose. Long-term maintenance ensures that union is not fleeting, reactive, or energy-draining, but consistently empowering. Step 9. The role of surrender. Even with conscious practices, twin flame union requires surrender to divine orchestration. Trust that timing, circumstances, and co-creation unfold perfectly. Release attachment to outcomes or control. Allow intuition and synchronicity to guide the connection. Recognize that union is as much energetic and spiritual as it is physical. Surrender transforms effort into flow, tension into ease, and connection into vibrational harmony. Step 10. Embodying the highest expression. Manifesting union and collaboration is not an end, but a continuous embodiment of your highest self. Creativity flows effortlessly, inspired by twin flame resonance. Healing abilities are fully activated and applied purposefully. Spiritual alignment guides decisions, projects, and actions. Emotional maturity sustains harmony, resilience, and growth. This embodiment is the ultimate purpose of twin flame union. Living fully in alignment with your soul's gifts, together and individually, while making a positive impact on the world. Union as a co-creative force. The last chapter demonstrates that twin flame union is more than emotional connection. It is a sacred alignment for purpose, creativity, and spiritual service. By cultivating self-mastery, synchronizing energy, co-creating consciously, maintaining individuality, navigating challenges, integrating lessons, leveraging union for impact, sustaining alignment, practicing surrender, and embodying your highest expression, twin flames can manifest union that is transformative, empowering, and eternally resonant. The journey from activation to conscious collaboration illuminates the true purpose of twin flames. Not merely to experience love, but to co-create, heal, inspire, and elevate consciousness in oneself and others. Through conscious union, the twin flame connection becomes a living, breathing channel of energy and creativity, a divine partnership that resonates far beyond the personal, touching the lives of many and fulfilling the highest intentions of the soul. The last chapter, you have explored conscious union, co-creation, and purposeful collaboration. In Chapter 10, we turn our attention to the long-term legacy of the twin flame connection. How the energy, lessons, and activation continue to influence your life, creativity, healing, and spiritual evolution, even beyond physical or relational presence. Twin flame connections are not fleeting. They are soul-level catalysts. The intensity, clarity, and spiritual resonance they bring leave lasting imprints, creating ripple effects that shape personal destiny, impact others, and elevate collective consciousness. This chapter is about sustaining that impact intentionally and meaningfully. Understanding the eternal nature of twin flame energy. Twin flame energy is eternal and multidimensional. While physical presence may be temporary or fluctuating, the energetic resonance remains active within and around you. Key truths include energy imprint. The connection leaves a permanent vibrational signature in your consciousness. Soul expansion. Lessons learned and gifts activated continue to unfold over time. Creative and healing catalysts. Inspirations and abilities awakened by the twin flame persist. Universal alignment. Energy from the connection supports your soul purpose across lifetimes. Recognizing the enduring nature of twin flame energy allows you to leverage it consciously, turning past intensity into sustained empowerment. Step 1. Integrating the lessons deeply. The first step in sustaining legacy is integration. Integration ensures that the wisdom, insights, and emotional activation from the twin flame connection are woven into your life permanently. Reflect regularly on key lessons from union, separation, and co-creation. Document emotional, creative, and spiritual breakthroughs in journals or digital archives. Identify patterns of growth, triggers, and gifts for conscious refinement. Transform challenges into tools for resilience, clarity, and empowerment. Deep integration converts temporary intensity into lasting mastery, forming the foundation for your ongoing legacy. Step 2. Channeling energy into creative expression. Twin flame energy is a catalyst for creativity. Sustaining legacy means continuing to create from this activation. Use emotional resonance as fuel for art, writing, music, or other forms of expression. Revisit inspired projects or unfinished ideas sparked by the connection. Share creative output with intention, whether for personal growth, public impact, or both. Allow creativity to be guided by higher resonance rather than pressure or expectation. The creative work inspired by your twin flame becomes a vibrational imprint, extending influence far beyond the immediate connection. Step 3. Applying healing capacities long-term. Healing abilities awakened by twin flame energy are not limited to the relationship itself. These gifts can be applied consistently to support friends, family, or community through energy work, guidance, or compassionate presence. Establish professional healing practices, workshops, or mentorship programs. Integrate intuitive insights into daily life to navigate challenges consciously. Create a framework for personal and collective transformation. Sustained application of healing energy extends the impact of the twin flame activation, turning personal experiences into generative forces for others. Step 4. Maintaining spiritual alignment. Legacy requires ongoing spiritual alignment. Twin flame energy accelerates growth, but conscious spiritual practice ensures lasting resonance. Techniques include daily meditation or contemplative practices, energy alignment exercises like breathwork, visualization, or chakra balancing, reflecting on synchronicities and signs to remain attuned to guidance, engaging in rituals or intention setting to renew alignment periodically. Spiritual alignment allows twin flame energy to flow continuously, sustaining purpose, clarity, and inspiration across all areas of life. Step 5. Honoring the connection without attachment. Even as life evolves, honoring the connection without attachment is crucial for sustaining its positive influence. Recognize the twin flame as a mirror and catalyst, rather than a source of external validation. Release dependency on presence, outcomes, or reunion. Acknowledge emotional and spiritual growth gained through the connection. Celebrate the partnership as a transformative chapter in your soul journey. This approach preserves the energy's potency while preventing stagnation, resentment, or regression. Step 6. Building a purposeful life anchored in activation. The twin flame experience awakens latent gifts, insight, and intuition, but sustaining legacy requires applying these consciously in daily life. Align career, art, or spiritual practice with the resonance of your twin flame activation. Use lessons learned to inform decision-making and leadership. Create structures, habits, and routines that support continuous growth and creativity. Foster relationships that reflect the emotional intelligence and spiritual maturity cultivated through the connection. By anchoring activation in life purpose, the energy of the twin flame connection transforms into a lifelong compass for impact. Step 7. Mentorship and collective contribution. The ultimate expression of twin flame legacy often involves uplifting others through mentorship, teaching, or service. Share insights, creative methods, and healing practices with those on similar journeys. Guide others in navigating their own spiritual relationships or creative awakening. Establish communities, workshops, or platforms for co-creative engagement. Inspire transformation, resilience, and conscious alignment in others. Through mentorship and collective contribution, your twin flame activation extends far beyond your personal experience, influencing lives and elevating collective consciousness. Step 8. Preserving creative and spiritual flow. Sustaining impact requires flow management, the conscious preservation of energy for consistent creativity, healing, and spiritual growth. Schedule time for rest, rejuvenation, and reflective practice. Avoid burnout by balancing intensity with grounding and recovery. Recognize and honor peak energy periods for creative or spiritual work. Continue learning, experimenting, and expanding skill sets. Flow preservation ensures that twin flame energy remains a source of inspiration rather than depletion. Step 9. Embracing the cycles of life and energy. Twin flame energy is dynamic and cyclical. Legacy involves honoring the natural rhythms of activation and rest. Recognize that periods of separation, solitude, or quiet reflection are vital for deep integration. Observe emotional, creative, and spiritual cycles to optimize expression. Trust in universal timing for opportunities, insights, and co-creation. Adapt practices and focus according to current resonance. Embracing cycles allows energy to evolve naturally, sustaining long-term impact without forcing outcomes. Step 10. Leaving a soulful legacy. Ultimately, the twin flame connection's greatest gift is the legacy it enables. Creative works that inspire, heal, and uplift. Healing practices that transform lives and communities. Spiritual guidance that cultivates awareness, compassion, and alignment. Embodied wisdom that serves both self and collective. This legacy is not measured solely by external recognition. It is reflected in the ripple effect of elevated energy, activated gifts, and inspired lives. The connection becomes a permanent conduit of light, creativity, and soul purpose, continuing to resonate long after the physical relationship evolves. Living beyond the connection. The final chapter emphasizes that twin flame energy is timeless, transformative, and generative. By integrating lessons, channeling creative and healing gifts, maintaining spiritual alignment, honoring the connection without attachment, anchoring purpose, mentoring others, preserving flow, embracing cycles, and consciously leaving a soulful legacy, you ensure that the impact of your twin flame activation endures across your lifetime. The twin flame connection is more than an intense relational experience. It is a launchpad for your highest self-expression, spiritual evolution, and creative influence. Through conscious practice, you can carry the resonance forward, leaving an enduring imprint of light, love, and purpose on yourself, those you touch, and the world at large.